I never thought that I would see a day where I would be rooting for a university above Donald J. Trump and his administration. But I don't recognize his administration right now. I don't recognize what's happening. I have a theory. I do. We were kicking around some theories earlier, me and the team, and we were going, how could Trump be such a free speech enthusiast and allowing these things to happen, going after college universities, trying to suppress speech while pretending that you're not suppressing speech, while pretending that you're fighting DEI. It's so messy. It's so obvious. Everyone knows what you're doing.
So that is the video going around where Candace Owens is accusing President Trump of no longer being in favor of free speech. But you have to look at the entire issue that she is referring to, and then you'll understand how truly insane her take on this really, really is. So she's talking about the letter that President Trump sent to Harvard University saying that if you want to keep receiving federal funding, then you need to get rid of your DEI practices. In this letter, it also said, we need an audit of these education departments, these classrooms, the curriculum that was teaching this anti-Jewish hatred to these students. And we want people held accountable for not only encouraging these protests and participating in them, but also turning a blind eye to the violence and the harassment and the targeting that Jewish students were facing as a result of it. Not only that, saying that you cannot have these clubs that were fostering and fueling that same hatred, you cannot have this as part of your college campus, because clearly this was a huge part of the problem. So everybody understands that this means, not everything belongs in public education. It's not about silencing speech. It's about the fact that these ideas have very real world consequences, just like we talk about with LGBTQ propaganda, we talk about with CRT and DEI, when people are taught a very false idea of American history or just a false sense of reality in general, that these things are not okay. And her take on this is that this really had nothing to do with DEI. She says in her video that this is really because Netanyahu is running the U.S. and using President Trump to silence people in the U.S. who even so much as criticize Israel. That, for instance, taking away these clubs is not about protecting Jewish students, but it is about silencing these people for criticizing Israel's policies. And we can all look at these clubs and fully understand that these kids have no idea what Israel's policies are. They have no idea what, they don't have any understanding of true history. They don't know anything about the reality of the Palestine-Israel conflict. They have been taught a very false version of history. They don't believe the Holocaust happened. They don't believe October 7th happened. And they have been taught basically that Israel has never had any right to retaliate against any country, and that they're just a bunch of bullies that walk around oppressing people whenever they want something, and that they're just this violent population that needs to be wiped off the planet. So to spin it to mean that this is really an attempt to silence people from criticizing Israel's policies is completely diagnosable insanity, and it shows that she has lost the ability to be objective about this Israel, or to be objective about Israel, to be objective about this issue. I think some of it might stem something between her and Ben Shapiro when she was working for the Daily Wire. I think that she's trying to prove something, but overall, it's insanity. And so she keeps claiming that she's not anti-Semitic, but I mean, if the shoe fits,